Behind him is Jack Aitken. I think that 31 Cadillac Racing Wheel and Action Express car is really showing now what it's got.
They really are displaying tremendous pace at this late stage. These are the conditions that we haven't seen here for the last 10 days or so that the teams have been down in Daytona with the Raw test weekend and now race week, and that means the conditions are different. Everyone was trying to guesstimate what the setup would be needed on the race car. The Cadillac has come alive. The 6 car is in way worse shape energy-wise, 20% less energy on board than the sister car up ahead of him, and that Cadillac right on his tail right now.
Yeah, it's a good call, Cal. Watch the throttle trace, lower left-hand corner of your screen, full throttle. But before the brake pressure populates, you're going to see the throttle get chopped to 0 as Vantor sails into turn 1. Right here, he's going to save fuel. He is not doing well on fuel usage right now. He's got to save some gas. He's got traffic, so he had to jump right on the brake pedal there. But Vantor trying to hang on to track position while getting to his final pit stop window. Nazar Aiken, meanwhile, no problem. In fact, if they stop on the front side of their window, they won't have to be plugged in for as long on pit lane.
Look how close that is there. Jack Aitken was on the pole position. The car was found to be just slightly outside the limits in post-qualifying tech. They got sent to the back, and then they surged their way forward. Then at 3 a.m. this morning, local time, there was a penalty assessed because the driver at the time, Fred Vesti, blew through a red light at the end of pit lane when he should have stopped. Well, we were still in that big hole, that caution. So it wasn't until 7:15 this morning, 4.25 hours later, that penalty had to be served, which was a stop and hold for 60 seconds. The car went a lap down, and then all 4 drivers have been working so diligently to get this car back on the lead lap and in the mix, and now only 1.2 seconds out of the lead.
And that's the patience, experience of the driver lineup, the crew on the pit wall, the strategist Peter Barron making the right call, saying we're still in this game, just be patient, wait for a yellow, we'll get you back on that lead lap. We've got a really fast race car. And to relate that time spent on pit lane, 20% less energy needed, that relates to about 8 seconds more stop time for Vantor when he comes to pit lane compared to his teammate and compared to the 31 machine.
One of the biggest challenges of the fog. Wow, Jack Aitken had to make 2 split-second decisions there. This way, that way, no. Let's hit the brakes.
High speed,
that could have been a nightmare.
205 miles an hour. That was a heart-stopping moment. Unique nerves of steel. Aitken is out of rhythm right now. He's lost a lot of ground. Got pushed off in the dirt there a little bit. Maybe marbles on his tires. That rubber build-up that you get on the edge of the racing line. If you run offline a little bit, you're going to pick that up or create a snowball with that tire. He's got to regroup here.
Like a Friday night commute on the Atlanta freeways. That was crazy.
Very emblematic of the 285 in the ATL. But that just shows you, that underscores what multi-class racing and endurance sports car racing is all about. You've got to make the right decision at the right time, employ patience, employ just split-second decisions and the right decisions. And now, Aitken was on the back foot, now he's got to get back on the front foot and catch the 2 Porsche Penske's.
Basic rule of thumb in the cockpit, if you stop breathing for a second, stop trying for a second. Aitken would have seen this and then, diving to the brake pedal, pull the parachute, regroup, and wait for a higher percentage opportunity to get by. Great decision.
How tight it was there through turn 2. I think that's where he got his tyres dirtied up. Here's the moment again, just incredible. There's a 30-mile-an-hour speed differential between the GT classes and these hybrid machines for the GTP class. Watch here how he gets pinched a little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to make up for the time lost, and he had to make another split decision and bail out twice in a row. Yeah, Cal, 205 top end for GTP on the straights at Daytona, about 172, 173 in GTD.
So, just like in NASCAR, here at the World Center of Racing in the Rolex 24, the drivers heavily rely on spotters where things are as close as they are. And at the spotter stand is where we find Chris Wilner.
Hey, Lee, certainly everybody up top here, about 140 feet up high above the start-finish line, certainly got their attention after that amazing interclass battle between GTP and GT machinery up here. But you're right, the spotters have been put to the test here this week, probably more so than they have in recent Rolex 24s. When you look at the view that we have, 140 feet above the start-finish line, crystal clear on this Saturday afternoon as we sit just about an hour to go. The same couldn't have been said a handful of hours ago. We talked about the fog. A lot of these spotters had told me they had to leave their drivers out on an island, said, we can't do anything for you. Basically, from the International Horseshoe on, the dense fog rolling in just made things ultra difficult for these spotters. A lot of them now running on very little sleep, some of them even employing